Hello, everybody.
All right.
How's it going?
Yeah, man.
Steve, you look different.
A little bit. I've had a shave, so that's why I
Bet-
might look a bit different.
The better
And I've
looking
decided
version.
that Southerners are Nancy's, so I've gone Northern.
Fair enough. Yeah, the better looking version upgrade. Stephen 2.0. Yeah. So as you can see, Chris is in the screen with me. Steve is currently absent. He's got lots going on. He might join a little bit later. Mike will be in the chat at some point. So when Mike Thumb joins the chat, say hello, everybody. And yeah, we're going to get the ball rolling in a minute. So, Chris, you haven't been on for a while, have you?
I was on just before I went on order.
Yeah, but that's been like nearly a month.
3 weeks. 3
3
weeks,
weeks.
yeah, I suppose. I'm trying to think what the last one we did was.
It was about
it was about the rebirth and stuff like that. It was about the new
title
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got lots to look forward to coming up. Obviously, if you haven't checked out those podcasts, please check them out. They're all in the last sort of live streams that we've done, and we broke them down into chapters as well, so it makes it easier to pick and choose which bits you enjoy most or what we were talking about. I've also got individual videos as well, so you can find those as well, different thumbnails and titles. So today is all about the certification of this new film. It hasn't actually been said yet, has it?
No,
as far as I'm aware.
Not officially, I don't think. It's just rumours at the minute, I think.
So we've got some people in the chat. Voice right now. Derek, welcome. You are first. Hello there. We've got 848. Hello. And we've got Mike. He's in. Hello, Mike.
There he is. Hi, Mike.
He's in. Hello. Yeah. So what I would like everyone to do is put their rating into the chat, what they would like a Jurassic movie to be, and why, basically. And that'll be a good one to we'll go back, I'll star them, and we'll talk about, so everyone that's in the chat right now, and before we start talking about, talking and discussing the photos that I'm about to put up, I'll star them and we'll come back to them at the end before, and we'll talk about what people's thoughts are on their ratings. So what I was going to say to start with is I was going to talk about some other sort of franchise movies that have come out, I guess, in our lifetimes, some over 20 years old, some more modern and closer.
Some a bit older my age.
Yeah, a little bit more closer to your age. So the first one I actually want to talk about is, I'll tell you what, let's just start with the original trilogy, really.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 93 up to 2001. That was rated a PG. Now in the UK, a PG is a different rating, I think, to what it was in America. I'm not sure what the states were. But
yeah, because that's parental guidance, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what the difference is between a PG. Is PG and PG-13 different things?
I think there was once upon a time. I don't even know if PG-13 even exists anymore.
No, it does. It does exist. It's what the US use. I think PG and PG-13.
Yeah, so PG, basically, when you Google it, it's just parental guidance for children under 13.
Under 13, okay.
Yeah.
So PG-13 is maybe a 12A, 12.
Yeah, I'd probably say yeah.
Maybe that. See, the original trilogy was all PG, and when you think about it, like what actually happens in those films, I'm surprised it didn't get a higher age rating.
So it actually says here, for abbreviation parental guidance is slightly sexual or violent parts. Parents might not consider suitable for children, and recommend not for children under 7.
Oh, okay.
I think that's just a recommendation. I don't think it's kind of a.
Yeah, so there's some theming in it.
Yeah.
Mike says PG was a brand. Is a brand. It is a brand of tea.
Probably
Is a brand of tea.
Tetley. I quite like a bit of Tetley, but going off subject. No, like I always thought PG was quite a fair rating for the original. It probably actually could have gone a bit lower than that, I think.
Do you really? What, even with Arnold's arm?
I would say
hanging off?
that's probably the most graphic thing in it. Is probably Arnold's.
Yeah.
So yeah, PG is probably a fair rating for it, but it probably could have got away with going a bit.
I think the reason it
more.
must have got a PG, I reckon that the reason it didn't get the lower rating was because Malcolm's swear word with the Triceratops droppings.
Mm. Yeah,
and doesn't Ellie shout when the T-Rex is chasing them in the Jeep?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's to do. I have a feeling it's to do with the language.
Because Samuel L. Jackson doesn't drop an F-bomb in it, does he?
No,
I don't think he did.
No, he doesn't. No.
So yeah, according to this, there is UG, which is appropriate for all ages. PG, PG-13. No, neither do I. I think these are American because then it's got R for restricted.
Oh, okay.
And
see, they jump straight from PG-13 to restricted.
As far as I can see, yeah. Film ratings in the UK. So you got PG, 12A, and then you've just got one that says suitable. 12A is suitable for 12 years and older, accompanied by an adult, or suitable for 15 years and over, where they don't need an adult. And then you've got 18.
This Jurassic Horror 2003 says, hi, the 6 movies are PG-13. So I assume you're American. Sorry. Now, that I think is the equivalent of a 12A in the UK.
Yeah, that's from what I can see. It looks like because 12A is suitable for 12 and older, accompanied by an adult.
So,
but then if that's PG
now. I know for a fact that the Jurassic Park trilogy box set is a PG over here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buy all 6 movies as a what do you call it? What do you call a 6-movie film series, like a saga, whatever you call it, right?
It'd be a saga, yeah.
Yeah. I do believe it is a 12 because they have to go by the rating of
the highest rating, yeah.
The highest rating. So look at this. This is Alien. This is a 6-film collection, and I know they are all probably 18s anyway, which is an R-rated in America, I think. They have to go with the highest rating, don't they?
Yeah, well, it says there the Jurassic Park trilogy is rated PG-13 in the US.
In the US, see, that's a 12 over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I remember seeing it when I was, well, you would have been a bit older than me, but I was 6 when this came out, and Hexology, and it did feel terrifying for me.
So I think I was 9. I think I would have been 9.
I do think 12 would have been a sensible rating at the time. However, this was the first of its. I guess it's meant to be a family adventure movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a fair rating for it. I think if you take that Muldoon section out of it, and maybe a couple of the S swear words and stuff like that, I think you get away with a lower rating. But I just think with those in, PG is actually probably pretty fair for it.
So moving on. So back in Godzilla 98. That is one of my favourite films of the 90s.
I agree, and I know it gets a lot of hate, but I actually really like Godzilla.
You know what I think this film gets hate is because of the redesign, and it is not a stereotype Godzilla sort of.
No, but I kind of like that it breaks away from the normal
man in a suit. See, for me, when I see the Godzilla shaped how the most current Godzillas are, and like the ones from the past, it just screams Power Rangers to me. When they go into the Zords and they're fighting with the mini set with the streets below them and stuff. It reminds me of that, and it's quite comical, but even though it's all CGI now,
Do you know what?
this
I
was
think
like
it would have annoyed me more in this film, Godzilla, if they wouldn't have explained how it became Godzilla. But because they did, and it was like iguanas and stuff like that, you can see that in it. So
yeah,
for me, that always kind of explained it away why it's different to the previous. Because I remember the original, like Shin Godzillas and stuff like that, what I watched when I was a kid, and like they were good. But this was my first proper introduction, I would say, into like a proper movie Godzilla.
Mike has got a good point there. They grounded it too much in reality, like that would be Godzilla if it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moved like a real animal, and
Mhm.
it felt very organic, didn't it? And I think
Yeah.
that's probably why I liked it so much. And it was very close to like a Jurassic feel. It felt like
Mhm.
a sequel to the Lost World San Diego scene.
I love the sound that it made as well. That like screech. Such a good sound.
Yeah, it was cool, and the whole scene in the Madison Square Garden was pretty cool as well. But yeah,
Plus, I was in love with like the blonde girl in it for years. Can't remember her name.
but
The actress.
because of like, I think it might have just been the 90s, really. Like,
Yeah.
although I feel like this movie, when you compare that to the theming from Jurassic Park, this is a more light-hearted film
Oh yeah, definitely.
because
100%.
this is more like military based, isn't it?
Like, do you actually see anyone getting like as bad as what Muldoon is? I don't think you
No,
do.
like in a car,
Yeah.
you
People
might
get
see a
stood on.
few people getting taken out by the little babies inside Madison Square Garden a
Mhm.
couple of times, but you don't, you know, what I mean, you don't see any limbs, do you? You
It's
see a couple of
kind of
people get trod on.
it's almost a fixed camera, and the baby Godzillas jump into the camera and down below it, kind of thing. So you
Yeah,
don't really see it. But no, whenever my missus refers to this one, she goes, and I say, "Oh, am I watching Godzilla?" She goes, "Is that the Jamiroquai one?" Just because he did the
Jamiro.
sound, he did the
Oh,
soundtrack for it.
oh, very nice. Right, so yeah, so Godzilla. The reason I put this in here is because obviously Godzilla is a franchise if you include
Mhm.
the 2014 ones, but this was a 90s movie, so it kind of went with the same trend as like the Jurassic films, and it's
Yeah,
probably why they probably had similar sort of tone. Um, you know, a bit of militarization, a bit of the odd language here and there, but that was okay back in the 90s when there weren't any snowflakes.
yeah,
And now you got, so let's skip past that one. Let's go to Godzilla 20. So the latest Godzilla
mhm.
and all of the other series, all the other ones, have all
Twelve.
Kong, they've all been 12s.
Mhm.
Over here in the UK, anyway, I don't know what the rating system is like in America. That would be the equivalent of PG-13 in America. So I'd be interested to know from a couple of you guys in the chat. A star Jurassic Holt's comment there, rating. So see, everyone started going on about Mike's talking about the vehicles with Godzilla and human kills off screen with the babies. Yeah, it's probably all that sort of stuff, isn't it? Godzilla 2014. This is the film that what's his face made, the director that we've got.
Oh yeah, Colin Trevorrow. No,
No,
not Colin Trevorrow.
I know,
Oh my God, why is it gone?
I know. I've got a complete mind blank as
Rogue
well.
One. Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, yeah, he
Yeah.
did this one. So there's some. I need to rewatch this film because I'm not joking. I've seen it once since 2014, and it was a long time ago.
Oh no, I maybe watch it maybe once a year and go through the three of them.
I've probably seen this film twice only, and I think the last time I did watch it was because it was before the. Is it the King of the Monsters?
That's
No, not King of the
the
Monsters.
second one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was that one. It was before that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then you've got Godzilla X Kong after that, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't. Yeah, that one was. As soon as we got into this alien bloody inside crystal weird
See,
bit,
I would have expected
it
the
went a bit weird for me.
the Kong Skull Island. I would imagine that's got a higher rating than this.
I didn't
Just
look
because
at Kong Scroll.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head because like I would imagine, just because of the skull crawls and stuff like that, I think they were called. I think they was a bit more kind of.
Let's have a look what it came at. PG-13 to 12A.
Okay, so maybe a little bit more than that, but not much. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really any different, is it?
No, I don't think the stuff's that bad in Godzilla. I think it's more there might be a bit more swearing in it. Because
Possibly.
I don't think the gore or anything like that is from memory is particularly bad in this film.
Yeah, no, I would say it's not really. It's more the the dark fear factor, isn't it? The tense scenes but yeah, no. So here's some other franchises: Harry Potter 12, and I think that got given the 12 rating because of the films that came later. I know the original is You.
Yeah, I would say
Is it You?
something from like
PG,
I would
PG
say
or You?
I'd say probably Prisoner of Azkaban onwards probably went up to a 12.
Yeah,
Just because of like the werewolves and stuff like that, maybe.
yeah.
Again, there's no swearing in it, as far as I remember in Harry Potter.
No, there isn't. There isn't swearing in these films. But it's
So
interesting because it seems to be theming, isn't it? Like we can talk about what we would like and the pros and cons of having this rating compared to like an R-rated sort of Jurassic, but because we're all going to have our opinions. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit 12.
that is purely on like fear factor of stuff like Shelob, the spider, and stuff like that, and the orcs.
But then you say that, but PG Chamber of Secrets had Aragog, giant spiders. I have a feeling it's more to do with the theming of stabbing and violence.
I think the violence is a big thing. Obviously, the big battles and stuff like that.
There's a scene where the orcs catapult a load of soldiers' heads into
that's
is it
never said Empire
Isengard?
Strikes Back then. I never said
Minas
Two Towers. Yeah.
So and also you got to think of the length of the movie. Like that's probably how long is that? They're 3 hours each, aren't they? 18 hours.
Well, extended is about 4.
Between them two trilogies, it's like about 18 hours worth of footage.
I'll do that in a day, though. I will literally sit there and watch all 3 of them extended editions in a day.
I absolutely love these films. Well, more so than Lord of the Rings.
I know Jurassic will always be my favourite, but kind of the Lord of the Rings is pretty much secondary.
Full of a took. But now, this is my favourite trilogy. I think that you can't beat this trilogy.
Agree. I think cinematic value wise, it's the best trilogy ever made.
Oh, 100. And as a story, I think it's just seamlessly flawless.
Yeah, when you compare that to something like Star Wars, while it was seamless, especially the original trilogy, I don't think even Star Wars, as much as I'm a fan of it, doesn't go as seamlessly as what this does.
Well, it doesn't because it doesn't age. I don't feel like fantasy in this sort of genre ages.
No. Actually, I've been watching Rings of Power, and I saw a screenshot of the Balrog from Lord of the Rings and the Balrog from Rings of Power, and they was honestly almost identical.
Really?
And I know they probably downplayed the special effects in the newer one, but honestly, it was like unbelievable.
Yeah, I do think like they really, really do hold up these films, and I think it's to do with that's the 12 because of the violence. So I guess that's another reason why I guess the Jurassic World was a 12 because it's probably the most violent movie. It's definitely probably the most violent movie out of all of them. I think it is. When you think of how many deaths there are in that film and how much. Think of how violent that film is.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I remember us doing a video on how many deaths are in each film, but
Jurassic World is head and shoulders.
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty violent film.
Because I don't remember there being too many deaths for the most part compared to Jurassic World in Fallen Kingdom.
No. So Jurassic World is a 12, which is a PG-13 as well.
Yeah.
12. I think we used to be called 12A. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a 12,
Just
isn't it?
12.
And that surprised me when that first came out because I was fully expecting a PG. And when it came out as a 12, I actually got a little bit excited about that because that just means, okay, so they've upped the ante a little
We
bit.
might get a lot more, like, not necessarily gore, but we might get a little bit more kind of actiony, kind of dinosaurs attacking people a bit more without seeing the gore and stuff. And I suppose we did in a way with the Indominus, even like chomping down on that guy outside the paddock.
Well, yeah, well, think about it. If anything, I feel like the other two movies shouldn't be the same rating as this because if you're gonna use it based on violence, this is the most violent film out of the three.
I agree, but there's one scene in Fallen Kingdom that I think takes it, and that's when Thingy gets his arm bitten off in the cage by the Indoraptor.
Oh, you're talking about Wheatley that gets his arm bitten off.
Wheatley. Like, I think that particular scene is probably gorier than anything in Jurassic World, but I think Jurassic World's got more scenes that have kind of got a bit more to them. Just that one particular scene.
I don't know whether I agree with that or not because I could argue and counter that with you see the Indominus pick a guy up and pull him apart.
You do
inside its paddock.
My only thing with that is it's a bit further away and it's very, very quick.
I mean, you do get to see the Indoraptor swallow his arm. So that's a good argument. Yeah, I suppose so. It's very.
I think it's based on that one scene. I don't think any other scene in Fallen Kingdom kind of matches anything else, but
yeah,
I can see why it got a 12.
I mean, a 15. The problem is with making things a 15 is that you
lose a lot of your toy audience.
Yeah, you do lose a lot of your toy audience. And it becomes solely about what you see in the movie theatre rather than what else surrounds it. Bracky Death alone makes the 12A rating. My favourite movies are Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Jurassic Park, Guanji. Nice.
Guanji, that's a good one.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do a little
Mario 93. I think that bit needs to be erased.
Mario 93 and Prehistoric Beast. Nice. So I would say that I think all three of those are 12s. I don't know how Dominion gets rated a 12. But I can see why this one is because of the volcano and there's.
No, I can kind of see why Dominion would get that 12 because there's nothing I think over the top in it.
No, I'm saying that it's probably it could be lower rated. I think Dominion's quite aimed at kids, to be honest, compared to these two.
It's quite tame.
I think what's really strange is that you think the kids that go and see Jurassic World were, let's just say they were 10 when they saw it. By the time Dominion came out, they were 18.
18, yeah.
And they're crazy.
That's mental.
So in that way of growing up from a kid to an adult, you'd think that they would get more. They'd go from a PG to a PG-13 to a 15 or an R or something like that. Like it just if you're going to grow up with the kids, but then I suppose all three films need to meet that audience thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Quiet Place. Now, A Quiet Place I love that film. I mean, it's great. And all of the ones that you can go and see are 15s over here in the UK, which is not an R-rated.
I've never actually seen it in full.
Have you not?
I watched about a quarter of it on a flight once, a couple of years back. And then I thought, you know what, I'll watch it on the way back. And on the way back, it wasn't there. So yeah, I never ended up watching it. I've still not got around to watching it, but I'm on Star Wars.
I really like the Quiet Place films.
My dad loves it.
Really, yeah, no, I think it's great. And Emily Blunt's acting in it is superb. She's so good.
I mean, I'll really watch anything with her apart from Into the Woods.
Yeah, no, I've not seen loads of her films, but I think she's quite a good actress anyway. I think she's great. But this movie's I was interested to know what it was going to be, because you don't see necessarily an awful lot in it.
Mhm.
It's more about, this is one of those typical, like the Spielberg effect of, like, what you don't see is what's scary.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they can't make noise at all,
Yeah.
add that the plain right silence is just so like eerie.
It's deafening. Yeah.
So whenever when you're in a movie watching it, anytime there's like real noise, it's like, oh my god, like it makes you automatically get tense because you can hear the music kicks in, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of I guess in Jurassic Park, when you go in the first bit with when they pull up into T-Rex paddock and the goat's just there going meh.
Yeah, and there's really nothing other than the rain in the background. Yeah.
And you can just hear like the cicadas, like sort of things in the background, and the birds, and it was just like, oh, everyone's like really intense, thinking, oh my god, we're going to see a T-Rex, and then they don't. It's just like, it's cool. But I went way on a tangent there. Let's see what else have I got here. Harry Potter, Godzilla. Okay, that was all of my pictures that I was going to like sort of basically showcase, really. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the notification bell, and then you'll see all of our other videos. We normally go live on Thursdays. If you're also new and you like gaming, please check out our gaming channel, which is the Gaming Isle. I think Chris will probably put it up in the chat. He's normally, I can see his little faces on it. Click the link, and if you like Fortnite and the Isle game, the dinosaur role-playing game, then we play that quite. That's what the channel's mainly based on. We play that quite every Tuesday night. We're live, see you again soon. Only one thing left to say, Chris.
Life will find a way.
Thanks to everyone in the chat. Bye bye.